The internet thought it had Papoose figured out. For weeks, whispers swirled that the legendary MC had been living in Claressa Shields' shadow as nothing more than her side dude. The man she kept on the sidelines while flaunting her engagement. But tonight, Papoose isn't whispering anymore, he's roaring, in a move that's already sending shockwaves across hip-hop and the sports world. Papoose has gone public with receipts, screenshots, and undeniable proof that flips the entire narrative upside down. And let me be clear, this isn't some vague denial. Papoose has dropped names, dates, and messages that paint a picture no one was ready to see. The so-called side dude label is calling it nothing but a manufactured smear meant to destroy his name. And the most shocking part? Insiders claim he's not only clearing his own reputation, he's pulling back the curtain on Claressa's inner circle, exposing the very people who wanted the story to spread. Fans who once doubted him are now in meltdown mode, saying they've never seen Papoose so raw, so unfiltered, and so determined to prove the world wrong. But Claressa, she hasn't stayed quiet either. The champ is hinting at her own receipts, and if she follows through, this could turn into one of the ugliest, most explosive public battles hip-hop and boxing have ever seen. So buckle up, because the proof Papoose just revealed isn't just defending his name. It could shatter Claressa's entire empire. The cameras were already rolling before Papoose even hit go live. His face filled the screen, not the cool, collected father figure fans were used to seeing on Love and Hip Hop, but a man whose patience had been burned down to ash. His jaw was tight, his eyes cutting straight through the lens. And when he finally spoke, his voice came out steady, heavy, and deadly serious. I need everybody watching to hear this. Clearly, I was never Claressa's side dude. The comment section exploded instantly. Fire emojis, question marks, disbelief. For weeks, the streets, the blogs, and every gossip page in the culture had been flooded with claims that Papoose had been sneaking around with Claressa Shields, the boxing queen, while she entertained another man as her main. Screenshots, voice notes, and blind items had all painted him as a man willing to play the background in someone else's love story. But now, he wasn't dodging, he wasn't ignoring, he was throwing himself right into the flames. See, they want to twist narratives. Papoose continued, leaning closer. They want to make me look like some weak dude hanging on a woman's coattails. Nah, that's not me. That's never been me. And tonight, I'm showing y'all the proof. He tapped the table and a second phone lit up next to him. That's when the receipts started flashing on screen. Screenshots of private DMs between him and Claressa, but nothing remotely scandalous. They weren't love notes, weren't late-night flirts. These were professional exchanges, talks about appearances, branding, mentorship. Messages where Claressa called him Og and thanked him for advice. One message had her straight up, saying, "You're like a big brother in this industry. You keep it real when nobody else does." The chat froze for a second, disbelief flooding in. Wait, so all this time, the side dude narrative came from messages like this. Someone typed, others weren't so quick to believe. Screenshots can be faked. Where the voice notes at? Show us the timestamps. Papoose was ready for that. He smirked, swiping again. Up came a video, raw and unpolished, clearly filmed months ago. Claressa herself was on camera, sitting in a gym locker room, sweaty and smiling. "Shout out to my brother Papoose," she said into the lens. "He's always giving me that solid advice. People don't even know how much you've guided me behind the scenes." She laughed, blowing a kiss toward the camera. Day one love, always. The room went digital silent. For the first time, the tide began to shift. The hashtags that once mocked him were now starting to turn into questions. Hashtag receipts, hashtag brother, Papoose, hashtag not a side dude. But just as quickly, the storm came rolling back. Within minutes, a leaked audio clip hit Twitter. The timing was too perfect, too calculated, as if someone had been waiting for this exact moment. The Audio, allegedly Claressa's voice, had her saying, "You know, Pap always been there, but don't get it twisted. Sometimes when you're lonely, you settle for what's comfortable." The reaction was immediate and violent. Twitter timelines blew up. "That sounds like Claressa admitting he was her comfort dude. Nah, that ain't Pap's voice in the background, is it?" This changes everything. Papoose didn't flinch. He pulled out a pair of headphones and played the same clip live, shaking his head the entire time. Y'all really don't see the game? That clip is chopped up. You can hear the cuts. Listen to the static. Listen to the jumps. Somebody out there don't want the truth out, and they gonna keep dropping fake leaks till the world eats it up. Then came the bombshell. You wanna know who's behind this? Papoose leaned in, his voice dropping to a whisper so sharp it sliced through the noise. "It ain't Claressa. It's people in her circle. It's people who don't want her to be seen with someone like me. It's people who think if they drag my name, she looks cleaner." The chat went crazy again, names flying everywhere. Managers, promoters, even her fiance got dragged into the theories. Some fans claimed her fiance had been the one planting the stories all along, desperate to protect his pride and flip the narrative before the truth leaked. Others said rival boxing promoters wanted to ruin her crossover appeal by attaching her name to messy headlines. Meanwhile, Instagram blogs wasted no time. Screenshots from Papoose's live were reposted within minutes. Her comments section erupted instantly. Fans flooded in. Then who leaked those texts? Why, you never denied it sooner. If it's lies, why's the audio sounding like you? But Claressa didn't flinch. "Let me tell y'all something," she continued. "When you're a woman in this industry, especially a black woman, they're gonna twist your relationships. They don't like it when you've got strong men supporting you without strings. They gotta make it look dirty. Gotta make it look scandalous. Pap has always been a mentor, nothing more. Anybody telling you different got their own agenda." But just when her words started to sway the tide, boom, another leak dropped mid-live, right as fans were screen recording. A supposed text thread between Claressa and her fiance surfaced online. In the screenshots, Claressa appeared to tell him, "Pap's been here for me in ways you'll never understand. I won't cut him off just because you're insecure." Reaction was nuclear. Blogs reposted instantly. Captions screaming, "Claressa defends Papoose to fiancé" in leaked texts. Her live comments spiraled into chaos. "So he was a threat to your man. Does that sound like emotional cheating? Your fiancé leaking these?" Claressa's face twisted as she saw the wave of comments. She shook her head, almost laughing bitterly. "Y'all really gonna believe every screenshot y'all see? Come on, I know who's behind this." And then she dropped her own bombshell. "It's someone close, someone I called a friend. Someone eating off my name while stabbing me in the back." The audience lost its mind. Who could she be talking about? Within minutes, speculation spread like wildfire. Names of Claressa's training partners, PR reps, and even her so-called sister, like best friend from childhood, were thrown into the mix. Twitter was vicious. Memes popped up in seconds, with hashtags like #FakeFriends and #Betrayal in the camp. Trending by midnight, meanwhile, the fiancé's Instagram went dark. He wiped his page, clean, no posts, no captions, nothing. That only made the speculation worse. Fans wondered if he was the one leaking messages to save face. Some said he was humiliated by Claressa's defense of Papoose. Others claimed he had receipts of his own he was about to drop. Then, as if scripted, an anonymous account posted what it claimed were voice notes between Claressa's fiance and one of her closest friends. In the audio, a male voice that fans swore sounded like him said, "If I let this side dude narrative cook, Pap takes the heat, not me. I'd rather the world think she stepped out with him than find out the truth about us." The internet froze. The truth about who? What's he hiding? Ain't no side dude story yet's cover-up season. Claressa's live abruptly cut off. The blogs lit up like wildfire. Papoose's name was back at the top of every trending list. But now the spotlight wasn't just on him, it was on Claressa's fiance. What was he hiding so badly that he'd be willing to throw a legend like Papoose under the bus? As dawn broke, insiders began leaking more details to the press. One industry blogger claimed Claressa's fiance had been stepping out himself with someone shockingly close to her circle. That's why this side dude narrative was pushed so hard, the insider wrote. It wasn't about Papoose, it was about distraction. Fans went viral. So he cheated and used Pap as the scapegoat. All this to cover HIS dirt. Claressa don't deserve this. By mid-morning, Remy Ma herself entered the chat. Without warning, she posted a story on Instagram, a black background with white text that read, "They'll use your name when they too scared to own their own truth. But facts don't lie. Receipts don't lie. We not the ones." She didn't tag anyone. She didn't need to. Fans instantly connected the dots. Were we standing by Papoose and calling out Claressa's fiance? The internet couldn't get enough. Celebrities started weighing in. Fat Joe commented under a gossip post, "Pap too real to be anybody's side piece. Y'all gotta stop playing with his name." Cardi B went live for a few minutes, saying that man been solid since day one. If y'all believe he playing background, y'all don't know Pap. But then came the most shocking development yet. A leaked email surfaced, allegedly from Claressa's PR team, discussing narrative control. In it, the team debated whether to lean into the Pap rumors to protect the fiancé from a worse scandal. The words were cold, corporate, and damning. Fans lost it. So they sacrificed Pap's reputation. They admitted they used him as a shield. Claressa better clean house. Meanwhile, Papoose remained silent. After the fiery live from the night before, he hadn't said a word. But his silence only made the suspense worse. Was he preparing another live? Is he loading up the receipts he promised? By the evening, tensions were at a fever pitch. Hashtag justice for Pap and hashtag expose the fiance dominated timelines. YouTubers streamed for hours straight, breaking down the PR leak line by line, dissecting every word. Fans started demanding Claressa cut ties with her team if the email was real. But the most chilling part came from a so-called insider leak on a gossip podcast. The host claimed to have seen the full, unedited voice notes between Claressa's fiancé and her friend. According to them, the fiancé didn't just plan to pin the scandal on Pap. He admitted to having an affair of his own, one that would devastate Claressa if it came out. The friend allegedly asked, "What if she finds out?" To which the fiancé supposedly replied, "She won't. By the time she looks my way, everyone will be talking about Papoose." The podcast clip went viral in minutes. Fans were outraged, disgusted, and ready for blood. But the real cliffhanger came when the host added one more line. "And let me tell you this, Sif, the woman he's been messing with decides to come forward. It won't just break Claressa, it'll shake the whole industry." Suddenly, it wasn't about Papoose anymore. It wasn't even about Claressa's fiancé trying to save face. It was about the mystery woman hidden in the shadows, whose identity could blow the lid off everything. The internet went wild with theories. Was it someone in the boxing world? Another celebrity? Or worse, someone Claressa trusted personally? Fans swore they spotted subtle hints in old photos, side-eyes in videos, suspicious likes on Instagram, and as the night fell, one question echoed louder than the rest. Who was the mystery woman? And how long before she stepped out of the shadows to claim her role in the chaos? Because if she did, the fallout wouldn't just end marriages or friendships. It would send shockwaves through the entire culture. The storm reached its breaking point when the whispers turned into a name. After a day of endless speculation, blurred screenshots, and anonymous podcast clips, the identity of the alleged mystery woman tied to Claressa's fiancé leaked online. And it wasn't just anyone. It was someone inside Claressa's own team, her longtime publicist. The very same woman who'd stood beside her at press conferences, who'd posted sister captions on Instagram, and who fans had seen hugging Claressa at Wyans, was suddenly plastered across every blog headline. A grainy photo surfaced of her and Claressa's fiance leaving a hotel lobby late at night. The picture was grainy, taken at a distance, but the body language was undeniable. His arm was draped casually across her back, her head tilted toward him like they had shared more than just strategy meetings. The internet lost its collective mind, her own publicist. The one writing her press statements? She was in on the smear campaign against Pap the whole time. The betrayal. Cut deep knot just for Claressa. But for fans who felt they'd been manipulated from the inside? But that was only the beginning. Hours after the photo went viral, a new set of leaked audio clips began making the rounds. In one, the publicist could be heard laughing softly, saying, "Meanwhile, Papoose was gearing up for his final move." He posted a cryptic tweet. "Sometimes the truth don't just clear your name. Mitt buries the ones who lied." Fans immediately knew something big was coming. He followed it up with a flyer for a live stream titled "The Receipts They Didn't Want Out." When Papoose went live, the numbers broke records. Over 500,000 viewers tuned in within minutes. He sat calmly in his studio, hat pulled low, stacks of paper and a tablet in front of him. No theatrics this time, just pure deadly precision. "First off," he began, voice steady, "I never wanted to be in this mess. My name, my marriage, my family, none of it deserved to be dragged into somebody else's cover-up. But they picked me. They thought I'd stay quiet. They thought I wouldn't clap back. Tonight, we ending that story for good." He held up a printed email, the same PR chain that had leaked before, but this time in full. The email wasn't just discussing narrative control. It explicitly named Claressa's publicist and fiance as the ones pushing the Papoose rumors. Their plan was laid out in cold, clinical language. Redirect press coverage, feed insider stories too. Select blogs and leak doctored screenshots to create a trail. The smoking gun was undeniable. But then Papoose dropped the hammer. He played an unedited recording of a conversation between himself and Claressa's fiance from months earlier. In the audio, Papoose could be heard warning him, "Don't drag me into your personal mess. Handle your relationship, but don't play with my name." The fiance responded, "Relax, Og. Nobody would ever believe she with you anyway. If anything, it makes her look stronger to be linked to somebody respected like you." The live chat exploded. He admitted, "IT. He used Pap's name like a shield. This is insane." Papoose leaned forward, his voice hard. "Right there. That's how they think. That's how they plotted." But what he didn't count on was me keeping the receipts. Then came the final blow. Papoose revealed that Claressa herself had quietly reached out to him days before going live, apologizing for the storm his name had been dragged into. He pulled up the demise, her words raw and unfiltered. "I never wanted your name in this. They lied to me too. I'm sorry for all the damage. Please don't think I was part of it." The audience gasped. The truth was finally out. Claressa wasn't the enemy, she was another victim of the betrayal, and Papoose. He was the man who'd carried the weight of a lie to protect someone else's secrets. Celebrities began flooding the comments in real time. "Swizz beat salute, Pap. You handled this like a king." "Busta Rhymes, facts always come out. Glad you cleared your name." Even Nicki Minaj chimed in. "That man, too solid. Stop playing with Pap's name." But just as it seemed the story had reached its climax, Papoose ended with a cliffhanger nobody was ready for. Leaning back in his chair, he stared into the camera and said, "Now that y'all know the truth, understand this Pap ain't the only one they tried to use. There's another brother in this industry whose name they dragged through the same dirt, and I got proof of that too. Y'all ain't ready for what's next?" The internet erupted instantly. Who was he talking about? Another rapper? Another athlete? Another man tied to Claressa's circle, or someone even bigger? Theories shot across timelines like bullets. Some fans swore it was a heavyweight in hip-hop. Others speculated it was a sports figure with ties to Claressa's fiance. Nobody knew for sure, but everyone knew one thing. Papoose wasn't done. The cliffhanger was perfect, calculated, and brutal. Papoose had cleared his name, destroyed the liars, and put Claressa's entire inner circle on notice. But by hinting at an even bigger revelation, he made it impossible for anyone to look away. Now the culture was stuck in suspended animation, waiting for the next live, the next set of receipts, the next bombshell. Because if what Papoose said was true, if there was another man they'd framed, another giant whose reputation they'd tried to ruin, then this scandal was only scratching the surface. And just like that, the internet's obsession deepened. The hashtags changed instantly. Hashtag Pap Receipts became hashtag Who's Next. Fans weren't just defending Papoose anymore, they were hunting for the next name. Every man Claressa had been photographed with, every collaboration, every handshake was suddenly under a microscope. And in that chaos, one thing became crystal clear. Papoose had flipped the script. From victim to vindicator, from pawn to kingmaker, he now held the power to shake the industry to its core. But the question hung heavy in the air like smoke over a battlefield. Who was the next man Papoose was about to expose, and how deep did this conspiracy really go? The internet didn't sleep that night. Neither did the industry. Because when Papoose promised receipts, everyone knew he delivered. And the next name he dropped could burn the entire house down. And there you have it, the receipts, the lies, the betrayal, and the shocking truth that turned this entire scandal upside down. Papoose didn't just defend his name, he obliterated the smear campaign, exposed the snakes in Claressa's camp, and walked away with his reputation not only intact, but stronger than ever. But the real question is, who's next? Because Papoose promised this wasn't the end, and if history tells us anything, when Pap says he's got proof, it's already locked, loaded, and ready to blow. So now it's your turn. Drop a comment right now. Do you believe Papoose should keep pushing and expose the other man they tried to drag into this? Or should he finally walk away and let the truth speak for itself? And while you're typing, smash that like button. So hard that the whole industry knows you stand on the side of truth. But most important, please subscribe. Because when the next bombshell drops, and trust me, it will, you do not want to be the one catching up after the fact. You'll want to be right here, front row, watching it all unravel as the drama explodes in real time. Turn those notifications on, because the next chapter could shake hip-hop, boxing, and the culture to its very core. This is bigger than gossip, it's a war for truth. And the next shot hasn't even been fired yet.